I started this meeting of the Security Council addressing President Putin and telling him from the bottom of my heart, stop your troops from an offensive to Ukraine, give peace a chance, because too many people have already died.
Abstentions.
The General Assembly is now voting on draft resolution, that their votes are accurately reflected on the screen.
The result of the vote is as follows.
Terminal, yeah. Passenger terminal, you have press conference there.
For months, this port was paralyzed. Ships like those here were within minutes of sailing fully loaded with grains and other cargo. These vessels were ordered back. A critical transportation line from a global breadbasket was cut. The Black Sea Grain Initiative is changing that. Sadly, we have taken the ocean for granted, and today we face what I would call an ocean emergency. We must turn the tide.
You must use the power you have to take action. Allocate 20% of your budgets to education. High-income countries increase aid, cancel debts, and set fair global tax system so that low-income countries can spend more on girls.
Unprecedented comprehensive initiative to get We know lofty ideals must be made real in people's lives, so let's develop common solutions to common problems, grounded in goodwill, trust, and the rights shared by every human being. Let's work as one, a coalition of the world, as United Nations.
Public Service and Minister for Finance, Economic Affairs and Investment of
It is within our power to be able to make that difference and that definable change. And we must decide whether we want to stand for peace, and whether we want to stand for love, and whether we want to stand for prosperity, knowing that we choose to do so at the most difficult time and from the most difficult and deep place that we can do so in a very, very long time. Justifies further hardship to people.
This COP has taken an important step towards justice. I welcome the decision to establish a loss and damage fund and to operationalize it in the coming period. Clearly, this will not be enough, but it is a much-needed political signal to rebuild broken trust.
I have said that pandemic is not over, but the end is in sight. Both are true. Being able to see the end does not mean we're at the end.
აუცილებლად უნდა მოხდეს ოქტომბრის, ნოემბრისთვის დასაწყისში მაინც ვაქცინაცია, რომ ეფექტური იყოს.
გენაცვალე. კატკინე. არა, ცოტა ამიწვა ეგრევე. ოპა, ვეცრავთ. არა უშავ. ხო, ეს უნდა ჩააგდოს იმაში, ხო? მომიცი. ჩაშა გავიგეთ თუ არა. რომელი ვაქცინა გავიგეთ? აჰა.
On this, and then what do you hope this changes, of course? What do you want to see now?
I have decided that the global monkeypox outbreak represents a public health emergency of international concern.
I've seen many humanitarian disasters in the world, but I have never seen climate carnage on this scale. I have simply no words to describe what I've seen today. Boy, very beautiful boy.
And
I want to make sure that UNICEF
President साहब ने अपने अफसर को पानी दिया था पानी ला के दो ना मुझे दिया
The situation is even worse now than before if you compare to the previous drought.
Climate change is impacting the entire world, and where I stand here in the Horn of Africa is absolutely no different. We're now looking at 20 million people marching to starvation here in the Horn of Africa. In fact, where I stand in Somalia, 7 million people, and that's twice as many as it was just 6 months ago. Why? Conflict, extremist groups, coupled with the driest season that we have seen in decades. 4 or 5 rainy seasons have just disappeared. And in the past 4 decades, the driest we've ever seen it in a long, long time. People are losing hope. But the World Food Program, if we get the support and the money we need, we can save lives and we can bring hope.
May I now invite representatives to stand and observe a minute of silence in tribute to the memory of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
She'll be remembered, I think, for her dedicated service at home, across the Commonwealth and around the globe. Her extraordinary service fostered peace and friendship worldwide.
Mr. President, distinguished